guys, Togo here with a new video, and I am again coming with a Doom video. So if you are not liking the negative videos and the rants and whatever, it is what it is. Now, I am not really coming without like any argument with that. Like we have the patch 11.5 coming out in the 11 April. So we are like close to 12 days before the patch coming out, and we have nothing really about that patch except that we have a cooldown manager. We have the horrific visions, which is a PvE thing, winds of mysterious fortune buff, nightfall scenario, and dastardly duos, which are not even coming out on the patch day, which is crazy. But also, there is no patch notes, so basically no reworks about the classes, nothing about pretty much like again PvP. Like there is still nothing about PvP. There is nothing about what they can do to improve PvP. I think the cooldown manager might be something that is interesting, but then again, it just replaces an add-on, so it's good for the people that are like anti-add-on. They want to all have only Blizzard things. But realistically, a lot of PvPers are just already using multitude of cooldown managers and that are like pretty good. Like for example, Omnibar, OmniCC, OmniCD. You have like also party trackers. Like those are already very good. Now they could replace if it's like again very neat like UI wise. But this is like a very empty 11.1.5 patch. Little reminder that was one of the arguments for people saying like, oh Togre, what are you saying? We get like 3 patches per season, like 3 big patches per season. Like no, 2 big patches per season, and then you have like one extra patch to just give like a bit of oomph to the end of the season. But now we use the 11.1.5 patch as a little oomph for mid-season. So what is like literally next? Season 3 being like empty and void could be also happening. But 11.1.5 is a patch that you could literally just skip and you would most likely not miss until, like if you're a PvEer, the 21st May, which is the Horrific Visions Revisited, which is a BFA thing with corruption, whatever. That's all cool and well. Then the dastardly duos, which is whatever again. For me, I'm going to say that truly, it's not a patch for me, so it's not going to make me come back either. There is no real incentive for me to play the War Within because clearly they already abandoned it midway. It was already very abandoned in season 1, and then season 2 came, and I don't feel like it's the best patch either. I don't really like the theme of the new zone. The new arena really sucks, and that's truly like made by someone that is not into PvP, because you would never make an arena like this, like ever. I think that's one like big indication that truly they don't have great PvP devs, and you would like they don't have a PvP dev to begin with. They don't have a great map dev either, and they don't know how to make a great map. The new BG map, in retrospect, I actually also don't like. It's a bit too complicated for a lot of new players. For me, it is like very simple. You need to play the flag and you need to play the cards. But a lot of people are like confused as hell, and that always has been like this. Also confusing where to cap the flag for the people that are new, for people that are not into PvP. The new BG really is like a low tier BG. That's already my opinion. Like again, I'm going to rant a bit, but the new BG sucks since the War Within. After having played multitude of times the BG, after playing like Blitz, the Blitz version, the normal version, the BG really sucks. I don't like the BG. I think Go back to a normal domination map, go back to a normal flag, capture the flag map. You could do multitude of things. I don't know, man. Look at other MMOs and try to replicate what they do. Like for example, Guild Wars 2, you have like a sort of a MMO kind of like MOBA kind of field map. It's not the best map. It's also not the best map from Guild Wars 2 either, but it is something that you could use and replicate and do better. For example, or Star Wars: The Old Republic with the mud ball. I don't know how it's called anymore. Hut ball, where you have to have like a sort. You capture the ball, and then you have to reach the end line, like a some sort of a American football, for example. Or you need to do like you can also throw a hoop, for example, if you're like into the like you could do a lot of stuff, which are more simple and where you can also like probably have some real life references where it's a lot easier for people to know what's up. But it feels like again the PvP, like the map creators, the PvP devs, they are non-existent. They're made by people that are not playing PvP. The new arena is in many ways a very bad map. Line of sight made by like stupid things, very open zones as places as well. Truly, it is like a bastardized version of Blade's Edge. So for me, like you can just like come back with Blade's Edge. That's how I see. It's already like again not really a fan favorite map, but it's like literally worse than that, in my opinion. You cannot really fall down though, so I guess it's a lot more noob friendly, but it is not a good map. First and foremost. Second, like again, we are in season 2 already. In season 2, I feel like it's one of the most emptiest seasons by a long shot. And again, I'm a PvPer. I don't really PvE. I try to get into PvE, but every single time I try, I think like it's a bit wasteful because again, the loot from PvE is not really something I can use in PvP, so my time is not well spent. For the same for probably PvEers trying to do PvP, their time is also not really well spent. So that's the issue with compared to classic or classic expansions. You're not really rewarded by cross game modes. I would say cross like not cross versions but cross activities. You don't have that in retail. For people, it's fine. Like again, gearing on in PvP is one of the easiest that it has ever been, so I guess it is fine. But I'm just not excited about. I think also like the pre-made issue in BGs is like very big. I want to talk about that as well. Even though it's a very casual thing, again, it's about random BGs and epic BGs. Who cares too much? But the truth is that if you are messing up the entry points of PvP, how can you have a funnel great enough to bring those new players into ranked, where it actually is the place where people want to be funneled in? So they're already messing up that. I think also Brawls is also messed up. I think they should just put it cross faction. I think random BGs should also be cross faction. Throw that mercenary thing out of the window. Just have cross faction, all like epic BGs, normal BGs, random BGs, excuse me, and brawls should all be cross faction, cross server, and cross even like versions like of the servers. For example, French, German, English. It should be all mixed together, so you have very fast queues, a la Cataclysm, for example. In Cataclysm, the queues are less and faster than, for some reason, on retail. In any capacity, if you're doing like Blitz, if you're doing Soul Shuffle, if you're doing random BGs, if you're doing epic BGs, if you're doing Brawl, and if you queue up on everything at the same time, you're going to still have a faster queues in Cataclysm than in any other version of the game. I'm playing Cataclysm these days. Again, a bit tough to realize if I want to really make content out of that or not. I'm also playing a lot of League of Legends. Like I kind of like stepped away from the World Within by a long shot because I do feel like I'm not represented by the devs. I think the devs are like literally stomping on me, spitting on me, and saying like, look, like someone said in the comment section below, it's raining days for the PvPers, and at one point I want to have some sunshine, and I feel like right now retail just doesn't bring it to me. And then you're going to say, but why Cataclysm? I think in Cataclysm I feel like my time is maybe not that well spent because a Mists of Pandaria is going to come out, but the version I'm playing is one of the best, more like designed ways of playing. I think again you have busted things. I think fire mages, balance druids, like elemental shamans at this point of the game is quite bursty. But like I'm thinking about Mists of Pandaria, and again I played it also on a private server. It is also very chaotic. Everything is kind of busted, but by everything is being busted, nothing is really busted. You have some power creep, some number creep, but it is not on the same level as retail. And again, I'm thinking Midnight is coming out next year or this year, probably next year. And we are currently in season 2 hitting 10 million health. What is going to be in season 3? Eventually season 4. We're going to be around 20 million. We're going to have a number squish again. To what extent? Again, why are we always having to need a number squish every 3 expansions? At one point, are they going to realize their mistakes? Are they going to realize that, oh, maybe putting a 100 to 150 eye level per expansion is maybe not a good idea. Maybe they should go back to what actually worked. For example, Wrath of the Lich King, for example, even Cataclysm, even though it is not a fan favorite expansion, in retrospect it might be, but in Cataclysm they didn't really lose too many subscribers because it was not that steep. Walls of Draenor actually made like a big loss. Then you have Mist of Pandaria, which is also a fan favorite, but again, the number creep keeps on coming, and every single like season, every single new raid tier brings their own problems. And I feel like they should maybe realize that maybe the classic way, and yes, you're going to scream at me, classic, blah blah blah, but the truth is the retail gameplay is really good. I think the designs is maybe a bit like whatever. It depends on who is speaking about those designs. But the classic design of how raids are working makes that every single tier of raids is meaningful. Now the PvP side of things, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Like the ranking system, it's not really my thing. Like even now, I'm playing a lot of PvP, and still I'm not really able to rank because it's really daunting. It's more of a mental thing than anything else. It's not skillful at all. From arena points where TBC and Wrath of the Lich King is a bit more skillful, but they have their own problems. But I think if you kind of actually realize that, look, the eye level should not be that big. For example, a item from MC is around between 60 and 70 eye level. An item from Nax is between, I think, 85 and 95. Like literally, like we have phase 1 MC and then phase 6 Nax. So like 6 months, not 6 months, 6 phases, which is 1 year of content, and you have only a 30 eye level jump. I'm not talking about SOD, I'm talking about classic. That 30 eye level jump equates to maybe 2k extra health, and not like such a big like a damage increase. It's more of a health increase. It's more of a survivability increase. It's not perfect classic. You have like some power creep issues in PvP, but like if I'm thinking about retail gameplay, I'm thinking about how I would like retail to be. It should not be like crazy jumps of gear every single time. It should not be crazy like enough that we have at the start of the season doing 500k is massive to a season 2 where doing a 3 million is just normal. I feel like it's too much. I think it's already too hard to understand what's going on every single season for a lot of players. And I think the number creep and also the power creep in general is going into like Diablo levels where you already need always a bigger number, always going bigger, bigger, bigger. And for me, it's a lot of fatigue. I think Guild Wars 2 has a lot of merits where you have a lot of horizontal progression, and I think that's the problem. It's never really vertical, so you don't really have a reason to grind past a point. You kind of make your own content once you have full gear, you can decide what you want to tackle on, where is it fun for you in world versus world or structured PvP, or doing some raids, fractals, for example, in Guild Wars 2, which are like, you can maybe see it as a mythic plus kind of. But World of Warcraft has verticality, but no horizontality ever. Like, it feels like you're not really playing the season. Like, you're not playing the expansion, you're playing the season every single time. So if you're playing season 1 and then you're coming back to season 4, the game is vastly different. Like, power level wise, you're going to get crushed, like literally one shot even. If you have season 1 gear and you face someone that has season 4 gear, they're most likely going to one shot you every more strike. So I don't understand why they put so much effort into destroying their own game. But that's my problem with the World Within. I know a lot of people are still playing it, and that's fine. I do believe like the player base is bleeding out, in my opinion. I think World of Warcraft in general has like poor like representation in PvP. I think the devs are just not there. I feel like even in Classic, you have more people like dev wise that are thinking about PvP outside of the box. Even with SOD, you can also see that they want to do something with PvP, but they again made the same mistake as in retail, the power creep and number creep, to the point where PvP is really unlivable. Like, it's not really fun anymore. It's like a one-shot fest or the best spec fest kind of, and that is disappointing to me. But again, I think the idea in SOD is good, but I think they need to do better to have like less power creep or number creep, whatever you can actually decide for yourself. So again, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I would like to maybe make some League of Legends content, because that's what I'm really enjoying these days. It's very frustrating, very ragey, rage-inducing at least. But I have like most of my friends playing League of Legends. Most of the people that I know play League of Legends, while World of Warcraft, I am kind of the black sheep right now. It seems like I'm like really the only one playing that game, and it's not like as popular as back in the day. And it feels really weird. Like, I don't want to be like, it feels like you are like single out, like you are the weird child playing the weird game. And I feel like it should not be like that, but the devs made it like that. While in Wrath of the Lich King, you were like the popular guy pretty much in gaming world. If you're playing Wrath of the Lich King, first and foremost, you had the money for the sub, or your parents had the money for the sub, and you're playing the most popular game in the world, which I cannot really say it for now about World of Warcraft. So again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.